Hi, my name is Jessica Donaldson. I am an accounting services manager at Larson & Company. This presentation is QuickBooks Online 101, a guide on how to migrate to QuickBooks Online, or QBO as we will be referring to it, how to navigate within it, and how to maintain your QBO file on a regular basis. The topics we will go over in this presentation include the benefits of QBO versus desktop, the different QBO subscription options available to you, how to migrate your books from desktop to QBO, an overview of the QBO dashboard and menus, how to manage transactions, reconcile them, and access reports, and lastly, how best to reach us if you have questions or need assistance with QBO. A lot of people I talk to are starting to sense the need to find a different solution from desktop, and they embody the energy of this picture. It's understandable. QuickBooks Desktop has been around for a long time, and it can be a big change. Larson & Company has a concept of deep change. If we aren't experiencing change, we probably aren't growing. So let's go over some points about why the switch to QBO has a lot of positives. First thing to point out about why it is necessary is that Intuit is phasing out most versions of QuickBooks Desktop, and the versions they are making available are still fairly expensive, upwards of $2,000 a year to start for a subscription. QBO is cloud-based. It can go with you. All you need is your tablet or laptop and an internet connection, and you can log in. There's no software to download. QBO also allows its users access simultaneously, and allows accountant access. No more backups or accountant copies to send us. QBO also allows us at Larson & Company to help you in real time to troubleshoot or answer questions. QBO has different tiers of subscription plans, so you can start with a lower tier and upgrade as needed and as your business grows. You also don't need to get new versions like you would with desktop. QBO adds updates or add-ons automatically. This screenshot was recently pulled from the Intuit website. You will see there are 4 different options. You might notice the discounted price listed there. While this specific discount might not be applicable at the time you are watching this presentation, Intuit regularly offers different types of discounts. So if you are looking to move your desktop books over to QBO, it may be worth keeping an eye on the discounts offered. Next, we will look at some of the basic offerings in each version and how they differ. This is a very basic breakdown of some of the features each plan includes. These are things I find a lot of people tend to be the most interested in knowing about. The bank feeds, which we will go over more in a bit, allow you to link all your different bank accounts and credit card accounts, and they pull in those transactions as they clear the bank through those accounts. It may be one of my most favorite functions in QBO compared to desktop. Invoicing is also included in all versions. These can be emailed to your customers, and you can even set up payment options through QBO to accept payments. The reports get more varied and more detailed as you go through each plan. Some other features I see a lot of people want to use is class tracking locations, for instance, or products to be able to pull reports based off of them, and job costing abilities. There are a lot more features and functions available, so you can feel free to look this up on your own time or reach out to us with specific questions. You will also see there are different users' capabilities, so please take that into account when you are deciding which plan to sign up for. These users do not include accountant access. You will get 2 spots for accountant access separate from these users listed. Now, let us move on to the basic steps of how to move your data in desktop QuickBooks to QBO. Step 1 is to make sure your books are accurate and up to date, and to make a backup of your file. If you are in your books and you go to the File menu and choose Backup Company, you could then choose to create a local backup and save it somewhere on your computer where you can easily find it again. Step 2 is then to go to QBO's website and sign up. You can see from this quick video I included that I simply Googled QBO sign up and chose the first option that came up for QuickBooks Online. The Buy Now banner at the top of the page also advertises any current deals they have, as discussed previously, and then you choose the plan you would like to use. You can see the Simple Start, the Essentials, the Plus, and the Advanced. Make sure to click the discount option if you would like to take advantage of that. Once you choose your plan, you will have to fill out your email address and create a password and provide your phone number. I recommend a cell number, as this is used for a second step authorization when logging in. This is just an added step of security that Intuit includes. Once logged in, you will be able to upload your QuickBooks desktop backup, and the process will begin of moving your data to QuickBooks Online. Some exceptions and disclaimers are necessary. There are some changes to the process depending on the year version of your desktop QuickBooks, and there are some things that don't transfer over or don't transfer over fully. If your QuickBooks desktop file is older than 2021, the web migration option is necessary. If you have a desktop version of 2022 or newer, there is an option under the company dropdown in your QuickBooks desktop version on the menu bar to choose Migrate Company File to QBO. Having your login and subscription set up ahead of time does still help streamline this process. There is also a short list of some things that may not transfer over when migrating to QBO. They include budgets, inventory units of measure, memorized transactions, bank feed connections, some sales tax transactions may change, some customer information if they have been marked inactive, and past reconciliation reports. The next part of migrating your books from desktop to QBO is to review the accuracy. The best place to start for that is to pull up a set of financials, the balance sheet and the profit and loss, in both your desktop version and your new QBO version, and look at them side by side. Make sure to choose the most recent date through which you had data entry done and reconciled in your desktop version. The reports should be identical. Once you can verify that, you can officially start using QBO for your day-to-day bookkeeping, and that means setting up your preferences, your bank feeds, and other settings, the fun stuff. Now we are going to move on to talking about understanding the dashboard of QBO and what you can access and where to find it. This is a short video I pulled of some of the things you can do with the dashboard. First, you will notice there are some tabs at the top under where your business name would be. The tab we are on is the Business Overview tab, as it provides a bit of a dynamic view that you can customize. The different widgets or boxes of information here can be moved around, removed altogether, or added back in. You will also notice the menu bar is on the left-hand side of the screen. It will be the guide to different parts of QBO to perform different tasks. We will go over some of the basics of those in a moment. You will also see in the upper right corner there is a gear icon, which has options and functions that we will also hit on shortly. The widgets themselves can be clicked on to bring you to different areas of QBO as well. For instance, if I click on the profit and loss numbers in that particular widget, QBO shortcuts me to my profit and loss report. The Bank Accounts widget, as you can see, is a great place to start in linking up your bank account to QBO bank feeds, which we will also go over shortly. At the top of the QBO menu on the left side of the screen is an option that will either say New or Create, depending on if you have the updated dashboard screen on QBO that is rolling out in October of 2025. This particular part of the menu has a lot of options to help you navigate where you want to go. You can see it is organized similarly to the centers that were in Desktop's homepage. The Customer column gives you all the different options of what you could do related to a customer if you create invoices for your services. The Vendor column gives you the option to record checks or bills or to add a new vendor directly from this click. You can also use this menu to create bank deposits or journal entries. From the main QBO menu, separate from the New or Create button, you have several other options. Depending on you and your business, you may be interested in some of these more than others. I would like to point out the main ones to pay attention to as a beginner in QBO. Bookmarks is a great function to help create even more shortcuts. You can see under my bookmarks here, I have bank transactions and standard reports listed. These are parts of QBO that I regularly visit, and it helps me skip an extra click to bookmark them there. The sales menu is another way to get to the different parts of your customer center to create invoices, update your customers, or create new ones and receive payments. The expenses menu is another version of the vendor center, where you can record bills, view vendors, and update their information. And the reports section of the menu will take you to where you can access financial reports like a profit and loss, an accounts receivable report for your invoices, check details, vendor lists, and so on. One of the other sections we have touched on when we looked into the dashboard was the gear icon. It is located in the upper right corner of the QBO screen. No matter what area of QBO you might be in, these menus will always be there. And the gear icon menu has some additional options and functions. Under Your Company is where you can look at your settings, your users, and your chart of accounts. The list column is helpful if you are using classes, as that is considered a list, or if you are using invoices and you can set up your items and services in this area. You can also manage recurring transactions if you have them. The Tools column is one of the areas you can access the reconciliation function and where you can import or export different data. So you can see the dashboard and the different menu options all provide navigations to whatever you need. You will also have a search bar right in the upper top part of the screen that you can type almost anything into, and it can help find matching transactions, vendors, or other data for you. So now that we have gone over how to migrate our information into QBO and we have reviewed the basic ways to navigate through it, we want to go over the basic things you want to do on a regular basis to maintain your books. The first thing to do is to link your business bank or credit card accounts to QBO. Any checking accounts, savings accounts, credit cards, they should all be linked in. I want to note that QBO cannot initiate any transactions on your behalf by the act of linking to your online banking. The purpose of the link is to pull in the different withdrawals, checks, deposits that clear your bank each day and pull them into these bank feeds. QBO will try to be helpful with its version of Smart AI to try and figure out what the different transactions might be for. I want to caution that how QBO might try and help categorize them for you are suggestions. You are ultimately the person who needs to decide if it is correct and change it if it isn't. If the way it is categorized is wrong, you simply need to click on the transaction and a drop-down box will appear. You can choose the drop-down in the Account area and choose the more appropriate type of expense. Once you have chosen it, you can hit Add on the right-hand side of the transaction listed, and it will take the transaction from the bank feed to your actual books. When these transactions sit in the bank feed, they aren't affecting your books or financial statements yet. Once you hit the Add button, they are. This screenshot is an example of changing a transaction to be correct. If you know, for example, that you only use your Amazon credit card for fuel, you can also create a rule, which we will go over next. Creating rules in QBO helps streamline your data entry even more. It tells QuickBooks Online that every time this specific transaction comes through from this specific place or vendor, it will always be a specific type of expense. Maybe this is every time you take a client of yours out to Olive Garden and you will want to call it promotional meals. Or every time you shop at Office Max, it's going to be for office supplies. You can even specify it by bank account. In this example, it is every time the Amazon card is used, it will be for fuel or gas. The next biggest thing that you will need to do after categorizing and entering your transactions is to reconcile. I think this is where a lot of people get tripped up and forget to do this part. The reconciling function provides a double check verification. It helps us make sure that nothing was missed and nothing was duplicated. The bank feeds should bring everything through, but if for some reason it doesn't, this helps us catch it. This very short video shows the path to the reconciliation area and how it works. Say September is over and we have our checking, savings, and credit card statements for September that have been issued by the different banks. With those statements on hand, we go to the gear icon and choose Reconcile under the Tools column. This brings us to a screen where we have to choose the account using the drop-down, and we have to enter in the ending balance on the statement and the date that the statement went through. Once that data is entered and we come to a screen where it shows the transactions that have occurred since the statement was last reconciled. You want to go through your statement, check mark the items that match up, and you should get this beautiful $0 difference and the Finish Now button. There are some common issues I see when reviewing bookkeeping. One is the beginning balance is off. Usually, you will see a message in the Reconcile screen where you would put the ending balance and statement ending date, and that will tell you the amount is off, and we'll try to show you how and why. 9 times out of 10, it is because a transaction from a past month that has already been reconciled has been deleted. So this is my big recommendation now to help you avoid that headache. If something's been entered and reconciled, don't delete it. If it was categorized incorrectly, you can always go back to it and change the categorization without having to delete it. The second thing that I see a lot of is that there will be extra transactions in this screen from past months. If these are checks that were written and distributed to a vendor or employee and the receiving party just hasn't gotten it yet or cashed it yet, that is not something we generally worry about. It is if a check was written a couple years ago and it hasn't been cashed, or there are extra deposits or card charges from past months sitting there. That is where the concern is. Most of the time, these are accidental extra entries. Sometimes the bank pulls through the transaction, and then it gets entered manually a second time for some reason, and one of them gets reconciled and the other doesn't. The issue here is that it is affecting your financials now, and it is making it look like you have extra income or extra expenses, which then makes your bottom line unreliable, and it also makes your bank account show a balance that isn't accurate. If you reconcile every time a statement comes out and you look into any extra items like this and remove them or handle them, then your book should always be clean. The next area we will discuss are the financial reports available within QBO. These are the fruits of our labor. Once we have all the data entered accurately and reconciled, we can trust that our reports will be reliable as well. Some different reports available in QBO that are most often utilized are the profit and loss, which shows us income and expenses for a specific time period, the balance sheet, which shows us the balances of the different assets and liabilities of a certain date, the AR aging summary, which shows outstanding invoices due from customers if the sales and invoicing area is used, and the statement of cash flows, which helps break down the different types of cash or funding that flow into the business and where the different cash or payments flow out of. All of these are incredibly beneficial for you to see where you have been, where you are, and can help you make more informed business decisions for the future. This last slide shows the navigation path of how to access the different reports available from your sidebar menu. You see me using the bookmark option so that I can access this more easily in the future. And you can also see at the top of the list of reports there is a favorite section. If you find a report that you like to review regularly, you can click the star to make it green next to the report name, and it will make it a part of your favorites. You can also see there are some question mark indicators next to the report names that help explain the report's function for you. As the video scrolls down, you can see how many reports are available to you, and all of these can be customized as well. For example, if you would like to pull a profit and loss report and have it compare from this time to the same time last year, you can easily save that report for the future. Thank you for taking the time to watch this presentation about QBO. I hope this has helped you feel more confident in migrating to QBO if you are still using QuickBooks Desktop, or to feel more capable in navigating it to be able to maintain your bookkeeping and financials on a regular basis. Our accounting services team here at Larson & Company are all proficient in using QBO, as well as QuickBooks Desktop, and are here to help answer any questions you might have in handling your own bookkeeping. Please do not hesitate to call our office closest to you for more details and information.